My name is Alicia Keelis, and this is my presentation and interview with the IT department at Pueblo Community College on network basics in nursing education. The primary goal of this YouTube presentation is not only to learn about a few tips in sharing files, network basics for use in education, and how technology can be incorporated into nursing education, but also the importance of knowing who your technology resources are and utilizing those technology experts in determining best applications and software for your students. As I learned, it might take 2 or 3 different individuals depending on the topic and their area of expertise to find the right person in answering my questions. In the beginning, my search at Pueblo Community College to find an informational technology professional knowledgeable about file sharing, different learning, e-learning platforms, cloud-based applications, and the importance of security, I found there are many experts with their own area of specialty. I contacted one who said to contact this person, who said to contact this person. That told me, so as a nurse educator, I see everything under one area for my use in the classroom. Each technology component I may use in the classroom has its own set of requirements and thus requires an expert in that area to be able to explain all the different intricacies. Through my research, I was able to interview 2 individuals and gather information about who else I might contact if I had other questions. The first person I interviewed, Will, I found that he worked with the network, wireless, phones, PCs, and mainly the configuring aspect of technology. Then I quickly learned I needed to talk to Shane, who could help me with the questions I had about cloud-based applications and other e-learning system requirements. The specifics I needed to know about e-learning platforms such as Desire to Learn, which is the one used at PCC, and Blackboard, which we use at UCCS. I would also need to talk to a different expert who would be available at a different day and a different time. I did, however, receive eye-opening information from Shane about cloud-based applications, of which I did not know until the end, really, that Blackboard and Desire to Learn are actually cloud-based applications. They are e-based e-learning platforms from which I'm familiar with, but I did not connect them to cloud-based applications until the end of our interview. I did find, as I asked questions, it was good to have an idea of what I was asking and be familiar with the IT language, because my language of technology and teaching and their language is quite different. So next, here is the voice recording interview with Will and Shane in the IT department at Pueblo Community College. Here are some questions I asked in the interview from my perspective in nursing education and the different applications that I have been used to. I wanted to know the standard size of file that could be emailed, different cloud-based applications and what do they have to do with education and e-learning from the IT perspective, the difference in bandwidth, how it affects different nursing software applications, and even if I was using the correct term for bandwidth. Also, I wanted to know if cloud-based applications can connect through e-learning platforms, if that might make the usability for the learner or also for space available, if that had an effect on that as well. Security issues are also important and wondered if that had anything to do with cloud-based applications, and what cloud-based applications were currently being used at Pueblo Community College. I did not realize that there were actually many already being used. And also different systems that are available for live lectures and recording to make those available for students in a different platform. Here is the interview. Hi, well, I'm Alicia, and I'm in the nursing department, working on my master's. I had some questions for you. So what do you do here at PCC?
I'm Will Franklin, and I'm in charge of anything that has to do with the network. So anything wireless, any phones on the network, PCs. I'm the one that configures all those to talk on the network.
Okay. So how about so stuff like e-learning platforms or different stuff on the computer, different software applications? Would that be stuff that would go through you?
No, that would be on the server team.
Okay.
And so once I get my part talking, then they get the server part.
Okay. So I'll ask some questions, and maybe some of it won't be in line with what you do, but maybe you can answer some of the questions that I might have.
I can get Shane, who is on that team, if you want somebody else to.
Okay.
I could answer some of those questions too. Want me to grab them?
Sure. So what kind of the questions I was wondering is like file sizes. If we were to send like pictures or like videos or upload stuff like that, would that be more on his line too?
Some of it would be as far as setting limits on email, attachment sizes and stuff like that. That would be on Shane's side.
Okay, yeah. So it sounds like, and then also like different e-learning platforms like Blackboard or Canvas. And right now we use D2L, and then there's like virtual clinical programs where students can do they can kind of do assessments with like a virtual patient on the software, and would that be something more?
Yeah, you're looking for somebody on the server or on that side. Let me see if Shane.
Okay, great, thank you. We'll try. So some of my questions that I had, and Shane, what do you do? What area?
I'm the manager of core technologies, so I take care of the servers, the switches.
Okay, so that would be like bandwidth stuff and file sizes.
Sure.
Okay, so some of my questions I was interested in knowing, like file sizes, stuff that can be email transferring large files. Is there a certain size of a file that would be that we would have to know?
For email file attachments, you're looking at about 8 megs.
Okay.
Is the limit, and that's a system office limitation.
Okay. And then there's a way to go in, I'm sure, so each file you can go in and size those files or pictures or...
Yeah, you can resize pictures.
Okay. Sure. Okay. And it's more of a meg, not like a pixel, or does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, the resolution of the image will degrade if you shrink it, or the size of it will shrink.
It's more the megabyte, is that what that is? Okay. Another question... So there's different educational software or things that might be cloud-based that might be something that we want to integrate into nursing education. Would that be something that you handle, or?
It depends on what it is. The licensing would have to go through our director, Brian Crawford, because there's some limitations that the system office and the state put on us as far as what we're allowed to run.
Okay.
So the license agreement has to go through system legal first.
Okay.
And then depending on what the product is and what the requirements are, then we would work that out, yes.
Okay. So say, for instance, there's a software that I've used in the past called Shadow Health, and it's kind of like a virtual clinical program where nursing students can go on and do assessments with a virtual patient. I've used that, and at home I know with my own network it was very, very slow and it was difficult to use. Would that be something that you think would be able to be supported here with the, I guess, with the bandwidth or the
Yeah, I don't think the bandwidth would be an issue. It'd be more what are the requirements to make it run on the local systems, and what is the license agreement with the company.
Okay. Okay. What kinds of questions I would ask the company if I was to see if it would be something we could do?
Generally, we ask for a copy of the license agreement and the system requirements to run.
Okay. Okay. And then within the system requirements, would there be specific questions I would want to know? Or?
Normally they have it prepared. The operating system, minimum RAM, minimum hard drive space, that kind of thing.
Okay. And then we're probably set at a certain capacity for that space that's available.
You mean on the PCs?
Yeah, or I guess maybe the network is, say we have our students that come in that have laptops now.
Right. So student bandwidth is limited generally to 10 megabits per student. If it's an application that we support, we could make some accommodations for that. Like D2L doesn't have a limit. Office 365 doesn't have a limit. So if it's something that's program based, we can remove the restriction on that.
Okay.
And our internet pipe for our students is 100 megabits right now.
Okay. And then maybe somehow integrating a system like this into like an e-learning platform like D2L or Blackboard where you would access it through there, or
That would be Robin Beach.
okay. Okay. Great. And then the other questions, have you ever considered or do we use anything cloud-based, any software?
We do. Office 365 is cloud based. We have some of our backend management applications that are cloud based within IT.
Okay.
So it's not out of the question at all.
Okay,
It just
great.
depends on what the company license agreement is again.
And I was wondering with that, there's some of the employee training, is that some of that cloud-based as well, or where we
It
can
is.
do it at home?
Yes.
Okay. And then, let's see. Is there any concerns with that, with security being cloud-based?
It depends on what kind of information is being stored. If it's HIPAA, FERPA, any federally protected data, then we have to address that.
Okay. Okay, great. And so I think we're in the works of looking at different e-learning platforms like Blackboard and Canvas, and that would be something that would go through Robin with the different programs.
Yeah, if it's an e-learning app that integrates with D2L, it'd be Robin.
Okay, or just a separate one, a separate one completely from D2L, like going from one to a different one.
Yeah, if it's a learning management system, then it would still go through Robin.
Robin, okay. Okay, and then let's see. And then using different systems for recording, say like live lectures, either in the classroom or doing it, say it was an online course and doing a live lecture, or say as a faculty I did it from home and then all my students were at home joining in. Do we have software that does that now?
We are licensed for WebEx.
Okay.
So you as an employee could start a WebEx session, then you can invite anybody that you want. They don't have to be employees or students, but generally that's the idea.
Okay.
So you invite your students. There is a record feature within that.
Okay.
I haven't really used it that much, to be honest with you. I know some people do. I think the limitation with that is the amount that you're able to save after you record. You have to pull it off the system before it gets deleted. So.
Okay, because yeah, that's what I would want to do. Is say maybe live, record it live. Those that couldn't attend, then maybe post it on. Somehow post it into D2L so then students could access it.
Yes, that's possible.
Okay, great. And then,
So you got an email from our admissions or
okay, I think that's all the questions that I really have. Is there anything that you can think of that might be important for me to know if looking at different educational online softwares or different platforms?
Yeah, I would just say involve Brian Crawford early on in the process so that you're not working down the road that legal's not going to let you pursue. So as long as he's involved up front, then everything should go pretty smooth.
Okay. So there was something I was interested in doing. It was it's called a wiki, and it's a place that faculty or anybody can go in and just kind of communicate back and forth, upload documents, and access it, and work as a team and collaborate through that system. And so anything, if I was interested in doing anything like that, just run it through the IT team and see if it's something that we could get approved.
Yeah.
Okay. And the approval would be they look at security as well as the function, IT part of it.
Right, the platform that it requires, again, the license agreement and like the hardware requirements.
Okay, and then just a couple other questions. I did some research a little bit last night, and there was with the cloud-based stuff. There was some different terms that came across. Have you heard of these right here? So different. It's the SPI model. Is that? No. Okay. Just interesting. And then I also had a list here of different cloud-based management systems. And do you use specific ones here, or?
D2L is the only one we use.
Oh, okay, so that would be a cloud-based. Okay. All right. I think that's all. I appreciate your time.
Sure, anytime.
Okay. And you will. Thank you. Here is a picture of just some photos, and if you highlight the photo, it gives you a picture down in the bottom right hand corner. It gives you the size and it gives you the dimensions. Now where the arrow is pointing for the size, this particular photo is 1.56 megabytes. In talking to Shane about the different sizing of the pictures, it's not the pixels that are really important, it's more the size. Changing the pixels will change the quality of the picture. So if you focus on the size, and in this case it's 1.56 megabytes, which meets the 8 megabyte requirement for sending pictures and files through email, as Shane had recommended. Here is another picture. This picture is 1.61 megabytes. Under photo size, when you send the picture through email, you get a message that pops up that asks you the size, and you can do from small, medium, and this is original, so as you can see it's still within the 8 megabyte size frame, and being able to send it through email. Here is another picture of a message that might come up when you're sending a picture file through an email. You can reduce the size, so as you can see, small, medium, large, and the actual size in this particular one, 1.2 megabytes. If you were to send the actual size, it would be within the 8 megabyte size, which would be okay to send. Here are some examples of different cloud-based applications: Blackboard, Canvas, Desire to Learn, Office 365, and Cengage Learning, which offers a e-learning platform called MindTap. So these are different cloud-based applications. They are also e-learning platforms, which learning the different terminology between the two and finding out that they are actually interchangeable. So here are some examples of e-learning platforms such as Blackboard, Canvas, and Desire to Learn, and essentially these are interchangeable with the cloud-based applications, and what that means is these software programs or e-learning platform programs are never actually installed on the actual computer's hard drive, but they are connected through the internet. Here is an example of a virtual clinical software called Shadow Health, where students can engage in physical assessment online with a virtual patient before ever going to clinical and assessing a real patient. From my own experience, I found that using the system at home, my internet speed was not compatible, and I had some issues with it running slow. So it was nice to know in talking to Shane that going through the right channels, we could implement this and accommodate the system requirements necessary to run it in the classroom. Because right now we are having all students bring laptops to class, and having programs like this in the classroom and at home will help us expand the use of technology in the classroom. Security is always important to maintain, and talking with Shane, the important aspects of security are if information is containing any HIPAA, any FERPA, or any federally protected data. So we must consider that when considering different applications for e-learning and different software and cloud-based applications. I feel I learned a lot through this process and interview with Shane and Will in the IT department at Pueblo Community College. At times I wasn't sure I was even asking the right questions, but here are some valuable takeaway messages I learned and hope you learned from this presentation as well. Number one, make sure to understand the basic terminology in technology and the different applications such as cloud-based and e-learning platforms. as I found that those terms and applications are interchangeable. However, they require different experts in asking questions and determining requirements. This will help you know who you need to talk to and when, and have an idea of what part of the process is being discussed. Number 2, research the technology you want to use in teaching. Make sure to gather the system requirements and agreement from the publisher, and then meet with your expert panel or individual IT expert to discuss the possibilities. Number 3, get to know your IT team of experts and know that they're always there to help you, as I found out through my interview process. They were very willing to answer questions and meet with me at any time that I had questions in the future. Number 4, it would be beneficial at some point to set up an IT nursing education team periodically to discuss technology and teaching. That includes IT experts and nursing faculty to discuss ideas and options, but also to stay up to date on technology and to make sure we're including the most up-to-date opportunities for our students in the classroom. So as you can see, there's a lot that has to do with basic networking and technology and education. I think the biggest take-home message is get to know your IT team, work with them, do your research, and have fun. Thank you.